Hi everyone, Moochie here. So for this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this cute little s'more plushie, and I'm just going to get straight into it. So the little s'more plushie is comprised of the marshmallow and the chocolate filling, and then also the two graham cracker pieces. And each of the graham cracker pieces have these little dots on them to make the graham crackers look even more realistic and make the plushie even more adorable. To make this little s'more plushie, you're going to need material in the colors dark brown, tan, black, pink, and white. I'm going to be using felt to make my plushie, but feel free to use a different type of material. Thread in the colors tan, dark brown, and white. Stuffing. Optionally, you can also use a piece of ribbon if you would like to make the plush into a keychain or to be able to hang it up. Another optional item you can use are black plastic safety eyes, any type of marker, a pair of fabric scissors, fabric glue. I'm going to be using tacky glue as my fabric glue, but feel free to use a different type of fabric glue if you would like. And of course, pins and a sewing needle. The first step is to cut out all of your pieces, and you can do that by using the template which is found down in the description box below. So you can go print out that template and use that to cut out all of your pieces. So all the pieces you're going to need to be able to make this plush will include these two white circles, this white strip, two dark brown squares, these four tan squares, two pink cheeks, and a black mouth. Take two of the tan squares and then place them on top of each other, just like this. And then you're going to use tan thread and you're going to sew a line straight down the middle using the back stitch. So I just threaded and knotted my needle with some tan thread that I have right here. And if you don't know how to thread and knot your needle, don't worry, I actually have a video for that, so you can go check it out and learn how to do it. Super easy, so nothing really to worry about if you don't know how to do it. Super, super, super easy. So once you have your needle threaded and knotted, you can then take those two pieces, and then like I said, we're going to be doing the back stitch right down here. So to do the back stitch, you're going to take your needle, and then you're going to make a stitch right here, and then pull all the way. And then you're going to make another stitch right over here, pull all the way again, and then make another stitch right here, pull, and then instead of stitching forward, you're going to stitch backwards, hence why it's called the back stitch. So you'll make your stitch right there, and then pull all the way. And then you're just going to keep doing that all the way across. So let me just pull my thread a little bit more, and then I will show you that one more time. So you're going to make your stitch right here, and then you'll go backwards. When sewing this line down the center, try to make it as straight as possible. So try to make it in the center of these two pieces and then make it as straight as possible as you can down. So after you finish doing the back stitch down the center, you can then take these pieces and fold them like this. So it helps hide the stitches a bit more in the center. And once you have it folded like this, what you're going to do is take that tan thread again and use it to do the blanket stitch around here. And then before you sew it completely shut, you're going to fill it up with stuffing and then sew it shut. And then you'll do the same thing for this half as well. So if you're unfamiliar with the blanket stitch, it's another really simple stitch to do, so I will quickly show you how to do it. So you're going to take your needle and then you are going to put it through the back piece and pull all the way. And you're putting it through the back piece so that the knot is then hidden on the inside of the plush. So then you will fold that front piece over, hiding the knot, and then you're going to take your needle and then you're going to go through both pieces and you're going to come out right where you made that other stitch. And then you're going to pull, but before pulling all the way, you're going to go through this loop that you have over here. So there's a loop right now. And you're going to take your needle and you're going to go through that loop. And then you're going to pull all the way. And that's your first blanket stitch. So I'll show you how to do that again. So make your stitch over here, pull, and then go through this loop, and then pull all the way. So one more time, make your stitch, pull, go through the loop, and then pull all the way. So this is what the plush should look like up to this point. And now you're going to sew the other half of the graham cracker the exact same way. So again, you'll use the blanket stitch around, fill it up with some stuffing, and then sew it shut. Only difference is I'm going to sew some ribbon on this time. So by adding some ribbon onto the plush, you can then make it into a keychain or be able to hang it up. So I'm going to be adding this little heart ribbon onto the plushie, and I'll show you how I do that. So I use the blanket stitch to sew around to this point, and now I'm going to be adding on the ribbon. So here is the little piece of ribbon I'm going to be using, and I'm going to fold it in half. And I usually like to use Scotch tape to hold the ribbon together as I'm sewing. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Scotch tape down here just to hold it together. And this can just go over to the side. And then now that I have the ribbon in a little loop form, I'm going to put that in between the plush and place it where I want to sew it, just like that. And then I'm going to take my sewing needle and I'm going to make my stitch through all the pieces, like this, pull, and then you're going to come back around right here. And then you're going to pull again. And then like before, you're going to go through this loop. And then you'll pull the whole way. And there you go. So I'll show you that one more time. Go through both pieces of material and the ribbon. Pull. Come back through right around here. Pull, go through the loop, and then pull again. And then you could just continue with the blanket stitch until the end. And then remember to fill it up with some stuffing. The last step to finishing your little graham cracker piece is to add on these little dots as detail, which I think just completely makes the graham cracker look real. So I think that adds so much to it and is definitely worth doing this step. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So I'm going to be making 3 different rows of dots. There's going to be 4, 3, and then 4. What you're going to do is take your needle and you're going to make a dot right around here. You're going to pull all the way and then just make another stitch back very close to that one and then just pull. And it's going to be able to make that little mark right there. And then what I'm going to do is make another stitch over here, pull, just gotta untangle the thread a little bit, pull. So now there's 2, and then add 2 more for that row. So add another one right about here. And then 1 more right about here. Pull that out. There we go. So then there's those 4 dots, and you're going to want to try and make them as evenly spaced from each other as possible. So then you're just going to continue that and do 4 up here, and then do 3 in the middle. So to make these little dots even more like well defined and seen, I'm going to go over them all one more time. So they'll have like 2 stitches per dot. If you want to make them even more defined than that, you can keep making more stitches. You know, it's completely up to you if you want to do 3 or 4, you know, stop where you see fit, but I'm going to be doing 2. So I'm going to go over all these dots one more time just to help make them more well defined. And you'll also notice as you make these stitches, it's going to flatten the plush, making it look more graham cracker like. And then you'll do the exact same thing for the other half of the graham cracker, so just sew on these extra little stitches over here. And then you'll probably notice that it's a bit messy on the back. Don't worry about that. All this is going to be hidden when the plushie is completed. So this can be as messy as possible. It doesn't matter. You won't see it. So this is what the graham cracker will look like when you are all done sewing it together. And what you're going to do is make another graham cracker the exact same way. The only difference is you will not be adding ribbon to the second graham cracker piece. So now that you've finished sewing the 2 graham cracker pieces together, you can put these over to the side. We are done with those for now. And now we're going to move on to the marshmallow. So the first step to sewing the marshmallow together is taking one of the white circle pieces and that white strip, and then you're going to use the back stitch, and you're going to sew this strip all the way around the circumference of this circle. And also, just as a reminder, the back stitch is the same stitch that was used to sew the center part on the graham cracker. After sewing the white strip around the circumference of the circle, the plush should look something like this. And then what you're going to do is take some scissors and cut off this excess material. So just take some scissors and cut it off. Next, you're going to take the other white circle and then you're going to place it right here. And then you're going to use the back stitch again and just sew around here, attaching the white strip onto the other white circle. Then you're going to use the back stitch to sew this opening closed right here. Now you're going to take some scissors and cut a hole right here. Then you're going to turn the plush inside out. So I filled the plush with some stuffing and then placed the mouth and the cheeks onto it just to get an idea of what the face will look like when the plush is complete. And what I'm going to do is take a marker and I'm going to make 2 dots right where the eyes are going to go. So 1 dot right there and 1 dot right here. Next, I'm going to take scissors and make 2 little holes right where those marks are. So I'm just going to fold it like this, take my scissors, make a small cut right here, and then make a small cut right there. So now you're going to attach the black plastic safety eye onto the plush, and to do that you're just going to put it through one of the holes like this, and then take one of the backings and just press it on. And then you'll do the exact same thing for the other eye. If you don't have any black plastic safety eyes, don't worry, you don't need them to be able to make the plush. You can just cut out 2 circles of black material and glue or sew them on instead. At this point, you can fill up the plush with some stuffing and then sew this open and closed. And the last step to finishing the marshmallow is to glue on the mouth and also the cheeks. Now that you're done with the marshmallow for the s'more plushie, you can put this over to the side and we're going to move on to the piece of chocolate. So you're going to take those two square brown pieces and you're going to place them on top of each other. And then using the back stitch, you're going to make a line right down the middle, just like you had done with the graham cracker piece. The only difference is you're not just going to put the needle right through here because then the knot is going to be shown on the outside and you always want to try and conceal the knot inside the plush. So instead, when doing the chocolate piece, you're going to first make your stitch like this. So now the knot will be hidden inside the plush and you won't see it when the plush is complete. After sewing that line down the center, you're going to do the same thing on this side, basically so that you will be breaking up this piece into 4 separate segments, almost like it has 4 pieces of chocolate that would break off like on a real chocolate piece. Next, you're going to use the blanket stitch to sew these 2 pieces together, and you're just going to sew around this corner part, and before sewing it completely shut, remember to fill it up with some stuffing. Then you're going to sew the other 3 corner pieces the exact same way as you sewed together this one. At this point, you should have the chocolate piece complete. Also, you should have the 2 graham cracker pieces completed. And then lastly, the marshmallow piece. So now that you have all these pieces complete, the next step is to start attaching them together. So the first 2 pieces we're going to be attaching together is the marshmallow piece and the chocolate piece. So you're going to take the marshmallow and place it right on top of the chocolate, and then we're just going to stitch them together. So I threaded my needle with some white thread. It really doesn't matter what color thread you're using because you are not going to see these stitches. So I'm just going to make some stitches through the chocolate and through the marshmallow, just attaching them together. So there's one stitch right there, and then I'll make another one over here, and then just go through the marshmallow, through the chocolate, and then pull your needle. And then I'll show you guys another stitch. So just take the needle, go through the chocolate, go through the marshmallow, and then pull the thread all the way. And then you'll just continue doing that just around, probably like around this area so that 2 pieces are attached together. Next, you're going to sew the graham cracker pieces onto the s'more plushie, and there are the 2 graham cracker pieces. One has the ribbon on it, one doesn't. And the one that doesn't is going to be the bottom piece to the s'more, and the one with the ribbon will be the top piece to the s'more. So we're just going to start with the bottom piece for now. So just take this piece and then place it on the bottom of the s'more plushie. And then you're going to use the ladder stitch and just sew all the way around to attach the chocolate piece onto the graham cracker piece. So you're going to take your needle and you're going to make your first stitch through the chocolate piece like this, and then you're going to pull all the way. And then you're going to do a similar stitch through the graham cracker, just like this. And then again, you'll pull all the way. And that's your first ladder stitch right there. So you'll just pull it, and then you'll do the same thing all the way around. So to show you that all one more time, make a stitch through the chocolate. And then pull, and then make a stitch through your graham cracker. And then pull. The last step to finishing your some more plushie is to take that other graham cracker piece that has the piece of ribbon on it, and you're going to place it on the top. And then try to line up the graham cracker pieces so that that line going down the middle is the same on the top and the bottom, just for consistency purposes. And then when you place it on top, you're going to use the ladder stitch again to attach the graham cracker onto the marshmallow. So just sew all the way around, and then once you do that, you will be done. And that's it for this video. So this is what the plush will look like when you're all done. The front, top, side, back, and then the bottom. So that's the whole plushie. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.